I just got back from the theater. I just got out of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It was really bad. And, nobody should see it. Paul Rudd's with the best of them, and Jonathan Majors finally gets to shine in something that's not a slave movie. But other than that, it's really hard to get into because there's so much really, like, the jokes, like you know how we like roast things and say like, Marvel humor, lamau and stuff, right? This is different in that it's actually like disturbingly, horrifyingly out of touch bad. Like, I did not laugh the entire movie. I like sharply exhaled in like shocked, awkward, appalled feeling with like a nervous grin on my face, like maybe twice. Other than that, a lot of jokes fell flat. And I'm aware that the director said, I'm sick of my movies being the palate cleanser, I want to make mine important. Even the most important Marvel movies had good jokes. Infinity War, the objectively best Marvel movie ever, Infinity War, had some of the funniest jokes in the entire series. I guess I'll just dive right into spoilers. Michelle Pfeiffer, Janet Van Dyne, is the worst character in this entire fictional universe, and I hope that there is a brutal death befitting her character's morally disingenuous, selfish character. I hope that she gets what she deserves in the future. Michelle Pfeiffer, aka Janet Van Dyne's character, that character, apparently knows Kang. Apparently knows there's entire civilizations in the quantum realm. She knew this for years, before, during, and after the blip, and she says nothing. Just 'cause. If I get thrown into a bottomless pit, obviously the pit wouldn't be bottomless, but if I'm at like the very bottom of this pit, and then one day another man falls in there, me and that man try to make a way to escape. Midway through making a way to escape, I find out this man is Satan, and he has a way to beat God, and he's going to burn the world the second he gets out, and all he can do to convince me that he won't kill me or the ones I love is say, oh, I won't, I promise, you've helped me. So I then sabotage all of our efforts to get out, and I'm prepared to rot there and die. And then later my family comes and saves me. The first thing I'm doing is telling my family who was down there with me and what he claimed to do. They try to do the whole, I just wanted to forget, I wanted to live a normal life, I wanted to be a mother again, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. That's cool, but by the character's own admission, the universe, every universe at large is in danger if this Mother Pfeiffer gets out. I feel like that's something we need to know. Paul Rudd is endearing. As Ant-Man, he always was and he always still is. His daughter has become this snippy, bitchy, holier-than-thou activist type, like a standard millennial. So she's very preachy, and she pretends to be better than him on many an occasion. It's very cringe what they're doing with her. And I really hope that we get a more competent writer for her character in the future, because if they continue to write her like this, my brother doesn't care about politics in movies. He doesn't care about messages in movies. He doesn't care about any of that. He just wants to be entertained. And even after all that he doesn't care about, he came out of the movie saying, Cassie was the worst part. I kind of was hoping she died. Nobody relevant dies. The only people who die are MODOK and the Kang variant that the movie has as a villain. Oh yeah, by the way, this isn't Kang. I know the trailer is begging you to believe that this is the Kang, this is the boss, this is the next big bad. It's not. It's Black Donald Trump with a disintegration ray. That's all this is. He has the comic accurate costume, but that's about it. Jonathan Majors is really good as the character, even though the character is really, really bad. I don't know if they're going the tragic villain route, or if they're trying to go the insane villain route. Because he has a lot of things he could say, a lot of explanations he could give, that would either A, turn the heroes away from him, like they'll be like, okay, just leave us out of it, or they'll straight up be like, okay, do whatever you want. But the writing goes out of its way to either have him not say something or have him say something in the worst possible way imaginable. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm just saying it's really, really weird because they, in typical Disney fashion, they suck all the nuance and depth out of a potential plot. And it's very frustrating because we, the audience, just kind of sit there, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You want me to be against him. Stop making him talk like a literal Saturday morning cartoon villain, please. I'm only engaged because it's Jonathan Majors delivering these lines. If it wasn't Jonathan Majors, if it was any other random actor, I would probably not be as invested, because Jonathan Majors is a really good actor, and good God, he needs a break. He needs a break. Like, he needs a big break, and I hope Marvel allows him to get that. Kang as a character is a golden opportunity for an actor like Jonathan Majors to shine, because Kang as a character is basically Rick Sanchez and the Council of Ricks, because every single Kang variant is different in either slight or major ways. So Jonathan Majors has gone on record saying he's really excited to play this character because he can play like 1,000 different versions of him if he wanted to. And sure enough, at the end of the movie, the post-credits scene is the Council of Kangs coming together, and you see three main ones. You see like a Pharaoh one, you see like a Mayan one, and you see like a Cyber one, and they're talking. And he's like, I have called the others. And he's like, wait. And one of them goes, wait, how many did you call? And he goes, everyone. I'd say now this warrants it. And so they walk out into, like, this coliseum where you see, like, the teleport, like, you know, in Marvel, the teleport square that, like, appears, fans out, and then lifts, and then there's someone standing there. That's happening all over the coliseum, and it's, like, a million different Jonathan Majors. And you kind of get pumped up, because all those Jonathan Majors are, like, whooping and howling and, like, pumping their fists in the air. They're like the kids at the beginning of Season 1 of Vinland Saga. They're like, we're going to war, baby! Let's go! Woo! And I'm like, I think it's cool because there's potential here. It frustratingly so, there is nothing but potential here. This movie is oozing potential, and there's nothing. There's nothing. The only characters that die are inconsequential, and you feel nothing for them, because one of them was written for a joke, and one of them didn't get enough screen time or lines or anything to make you feel anything for them, other than you are the villain, so you must die. That is really it. Also, the special effects are really bad. Even if MODOK was written well, I still couldn't take it that seriously, because he looks really, really bad. The Quantum Realm has many, many frames that look really, really bad. It's like Thor: Love and Thunder, except instead of being like character animations that are iffy, it's environment animations that are iffy. And then there's MODOK. I'm sorry, I'm struggling here to find the words because A, the movie's still fresh in my brain, and B, it's an Ant-Man movie, so it's really, 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 really hard for me to do this right. I just keep bouncing all over the place. It's hard to focus in on this movie. It's empty. It's devoid of, it was so desperate to, like, push the standard cookie-cutter MCU formula, it almost hurts. Like, I'm getting, like, an actual headache as I'm trying to race through the movie to find something interesting to talk about. MODOK. Yeah, if you are a fan of MODOK like I was, you're not gonna like this movie, because MODOK is a joke the entire movie. He does nothing useful, and then he dies in a pathetic way, and they treat it as a joke even while he dies. The writers of Marvel are very lacking in self-awareness, because they write, tonally speaking, the writing in this movie is, like, very inappropriate. Like, very tonally inappropriate, and it's appalling, because I'm over here like, wow, dang, Kang's forces are attacking, and it's traumatizing, it's scary, it's weird. Is Cassie okay? Is she gonna die? Because, like, Kang, there's an instance where Kang, like, storms a village in the Quantum Realm. Yeah, because there's villages in the Quantum Realm now. Cool, fun fact. And, like, they're cracking jokes. Like, really cheesy, low-hanging fruit, predictable jokes. All I can think is how immersion nuking these jokes are. And so many of them, it wouldn't be near as bad if they were at least funny. And so many of them are just not funny. Also, the morality in the MCU continues to be skewed, because Scott Lang, as a joke, talks about how he should probably tell somebody about what he's dealt with, and he should probably, not forget about it, and how he should probably keep worrying about it, because he's like, oh, Kang said that something really, really bad is coming, and if we didn't let him out, we were dooming ourselves, and we didn't let him out. Oh crap, did we doom ourselves? What did I do? Is everyone dead? What's going on? Oh god, and then, like, jolly happy music starts picking up, and he's like, oh, it'll be fine. Goes and celebrates his daughter's birthday. Screw you. Bill Murray's in the movie for about 5 minutes. It's boring and pointless. He's only there to give you a trailer shot, really. Yeah, that's really it. Writing is bad. It's a wasted opportunity, wasted potential. Janet Van Dyne is the true villain of Phase 5 right now because of what she did. Scott Lang is also a villain because he's neglecting this information, and it's going to wind up getting people killed, and it's probably going to be used against him in the future, so women can rail on him because one of them probably told him to tell everyone and he just didn't. I don't know. If you're a Jonathan Majors fan, that's where I'd recommend to go see the movie, because he takes poor writing and very so-so dialogue, and he owns it. There's a scene where he, like, drops to his knees and screams, and in that moment, he's got more emotion, passion, and, like, acting prowess behind him than, like, full-on speeches from some characters in this movie. The more I think about it, the more I hate it. It's like Multiverse of Madness all over again, except there was arguably so much more potential here, because this movie was supposed to be the Infinity War of this phase. According to Kevin Feige, this was supposed to be, like, Infinity War tier. And not only did it not hit in that way... I keep yawning because I keep thinking about this movie. Not only does it not hit in that way, like they say it would, it also just is straight up boring at times. Like, you sit there actively bored, wondering what's going on. There's just jokes for the sake of jokes. It's not good. Back during Phase 1, there were people talking like I am now about Phase 1, but they were talking about it that way because they were contrarians. They were naysayers. They were people who thought that comic books should stay on the shelves and never be in movies, and that Captain America was retarded and no one should ever try to make a movie out of it because it's a stupid friggin' comic book for 4-year-olds. And now, you have the comic fans are now in their position. We're talking about how bad this movie is. We're talking about how stressful it is, how frustrating it is. You know how in a movie, when two parents get divorced, and one parent who clearly doesn't give a singular crap about his kid or her kid fights for partial custody just to screw with the other parent. That's what it's like being a Marvel fan. You have this thing you love, this thing you've had with you your whole life, this thing that you is part of your life that you love and you want to see do great things and go places. And then you have these predatory corporations that don't really care about it, just sort of eating it up, chewing it up, and taking it and doing this garbage with it. It's very frustrating to see, and it's very disheartening. And yeah, me and my brother both agree. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then Deadpool 3. And we're probably off the hype train after that. My brother says maybe he'll check out the next couple Avengers movies. Maybe he'll check out Blade. I know for a fact after Guardians 3, I'm out. Maybe Deadpool 3. If I hear Deadpool 3 is really good, I'll check it out. But Guardians 3 is probably where I'm stepping off this train. 3 out of 10. 1 point for Jonathan Majors. 2 points for the post-credit scenes, because they were far more entertaining than the actual movie, and wow, I'm crazy. I didn't have a third point. I thought I had a third point. 2 out of 10 then. 2 out of 10. I will never watch it again. I don't think a lot of you should watch it at all. I think it would benefit you to just stay the hell away from it and never watch it. But I can't control what you do, so if you choose to do it, you choose to do it. But at the end of the day, it's a bad movie. A really bad, really contrived, really boring, really poorly paced, poorly written, obnoxious movie that's just everyone is better off just not seeing. Don't even give it the time of day. Save your money and instead go see Guardians go see Guardians 3 like twice. That movie is $200 million, which means it needs to make at least $400 million to break a substantial even. For Disney to look at it and say, you've made a profit, you get an Ant-Man 4. Because Disney is very picky.